Welcome to the Man For It podcast, the boys on the road to see Oasis live in 2025. I'm Adam, this is Josh, and this is Tom, and today we've got a very special episode because we're looking at Liam Gallagher's 13 songs that he wrote for Oasis. But first, I wanted to talk about another reunion that has happened this week, which is Nirvana getting back together for Fire Aid, the wildfire charity fundraiser in America. Did you guys see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it? It's Dave Grohl's first appearance back after his fall from grace.
Scandal, yeah.
Needs some good publicity.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it was like a big surprise. It's like you've got full star-studded. There's Red Hot Chili Peppers, Green Day, Stevie Nicks, Billie Eilish came out. I can't remember, maybe there's probably Kendrick Lamar was there as well.
Everyone was there.
All the creme de la creme of LA coming to raise money for all the people whose houses
their own
are
houses.
down.
Yeah.
But I don't know who that money's going to
Yeah,
go to.
literally, celebs are raising money for celebs.
But yeah.
Did you? I felt really sorry for them, like all the technical problem at the start, like St. Vincent, where she obviously can't hear because she's just like this the whole time. She's like, oh, and
She
it's
was like
not quite in time. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel so bad for you.
So they come out, they do that, and it's like they've done it before where they've had St. Vincent out. I think they've had the same people basically come out and do it.
Yeah.
Maybe with the exception of one, but I'm not too sure. First one, St. Vincent, they come out and then they do Breed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, cool. It's like the sound's really bad, like on it, but it's a live stream, so they'll probably release it later and it'll sound really good.
Polish it.
But yeah, she's come out. You can tell she's struggling to hear and keep up with it. It's a fast song, so it's like, oh, great. It's like, oh, they're playing Breed. Oh, St. Vincent's there, cool. Oh, okay, we're getting there. Pat Smear looks happy as anything. Dave Grohl's giving it his all with his gloves on. And then, Chris Novoselic's there with his weird little hippie hat.
Was he wearing shoes?
He might not be. I couldn't see his feet.
That disturbs me so
feet
much.
Confirmed.
From the Paramount Nirvana show where he doesn't wear shoes.
They gave it a go and it was like, all right, soldiered through it. And it's like, oh. But everyone, looking at the comments, everyone was like quite positive on it. They were like, oh, it's a shame about the... People understood that there was kind of a technical issue. They're like, okay. But you see the crowd and they're all just like...
That's how I got introduced to it, because it was a video saying like people are just sitting down at this Nirvana reunion. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was happening because it was a surprise thing, right?
But they're all sad because their houses are just burned down. They're not going to be getting up.
Everyone in the crowd was...
Yeah, their mansions are burnt down, Tom. Like
I don't know the circumstances of this thing. I just saw Nirvana go back together. I didn't know what Fire Aid was. I didn't know who else played.
Maybe for anyone who doesn't know, Fire Aid was a benefit concert because LA has been on fire for the past 3 weeks.
So the crowd was only people who'd lost their houses.
I don't know.
It's like a charity.
Probably not. Anyone probably got a ticket. Like it was what's she called first? St. Vincent.
Who was amazing but did not.
And then it was Kim Gordon came on.
My favourite.
And she did School.
Yes.
Oh, so the song set list was really cool. I was like, I'm surprised that they're playing these on. Kim Gordon sounded wicked.
Yeah, she always did. She did it in the last one as well. That was like my favourite thing.
She's 70-something, like 71. And she sounds so gruff and like cool. And she did it. And I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. I was like, and I appreciate it because they're like contemporaries. They liked each other, and she's done stuff. I think maybe they might perform together in the past. It was like, that's cool to see. And it's like she's up there doing it, and she fits it perfectly. Like St. Vincent, I'm like, whatever. People like St. Vincent. I'm fair with the guys. David Grohl probably played on a St. Vincent song. I think he did. And it's like, okay, so she's there. Fair play. Crushed that. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. She doesn't hit the no reason. She just goes, no reason. And it's like, okay, she's there. Fair play.
But that was one of Kurt's favourite bands, Sonic Youth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they got her up. She did it. She killed it. And what about you? Yeah.
Do you think this is where Linkin Park got their idea to come back, but with a female singer, from when Nirvana came back previously for like benefits and charity things? And we're like, okay, we can't replace the lead singer like for like. We'll get someone completely different to be in there.
Yeah, I think it's like a good thing to go in the opposite of like, I guess the most opposite you could do is get a female for. It's kind of like there's no major comparison there. Then so you've got these people with a distinct voice and they're separate. So you get Eddie Vedder up there doing
it's
it. It's going to be like, I think that'd be mint, but like you're not going to have that comparison. Well, he's not as good. His voice is like that. It's like you appreciate a bit more. Like, oh, these people are doing something, and they're you value it a bit more versus the comparison's gone there. You're like, no one's going to compete with Kurt Cobain, and if you try to find someone who does, you're fighting a losing battle there. But then it was Kim Gordon, and then we moved on to Joan Jett, which I'm like, whatever. About Joan, I've never been a fan of Joan Jett, and I don't know what Nirvana's relationship with Joan Jett is. I can't imagine they might have been well into it back in the day, but it's just I can imagine she was at a period where it was kind of uncool to like Joan Jett at the time, and she became a bit more of a legend post
maybe
the 90s or something. But she's up there playing and forgetting the lyrics. What did she do? She did Territorial Pissing, and she just forgot the lyrics. Like at the end, she was like, it was like, and just because you're parent, and she kept always looking down, like she was looking at, like, it was like, you're part of kind of like a big thing here. You got one song to do, just like make the effort. She's got enough on her plate. A house burnt down. Like, so hers is a bit like, okay, like.
How many songs did they do in total?
4.
4 with 4 different singers,
with
wasn't it? Because then it was Violet Grohl.
Oh yeah, I did see this, and it was All Apologies.
Of course, for the last one.
Is that Dave Grohl saying All Apologies? Like, this is my daughter. Like, my family is a good unit, and we love each other, and we work together.
That's what I thought about it.
It feels very like preconceived,
cynical. You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did she come out with him before? I'll have to double check.
At Glastonbury, yeah.
No,
she's come out loads on tours.
She comes out with Foo Fighters and does a song that's on an album that he got her out on. But I don't know if she's done that All Apologies before with a Nirvana reunion.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think so.
Because there's been like 2 is this the third one?
I think it's the second one.
They did the Grammys one, and then they did one with Paul McCartney where they played, but they didn't play Nirvana songs. They just played with Paul McCartney. And that was the first Nirvana reunion, I believe. And it was like, Nirvana playing with Paul McCartney? That's going to be weird. And I don't think they played any Nirvana songs. It was just they were in Paul McCartney's backing band.
Right.
But yeah, Violet comes out. It's like, that's the first thing I thought. It's like, Dave Grohl's there doing whatever he's doing. It's like, no, see, my daughter's here.
Yeah.
And I hate that he's pushing it. It's like the biggest form of nepotism. When I saw Foo Fighters last year, she came out and sang, completely just killed the mood. It's like, no, and he's always like, look how great my daughter is. She's always got this like kind of like this affectation of not caring, and it's like, oh, fuck off.
Well, who would be better? Who would, if you could swap Violet out for any woman of rock?
Courtney Love.
Yeah,
Courtney Love is sick. Like, you owe her that
heart-shaped box because it's written about her.
Yeah, like get her out there and do it. Like, not your daughter. Like,
and why not Pat Smear's daughter or Chris Novasalik's daughter?
Yeah, like get L7, one at L7 or something.
Was it Coco Gordon?
Like just get just
Gordon's daughter.
Don't do this like, we're gonna have my daughter can sing. Oh, she's so great. She's gonna have. I think she's stunted and she won't have a good career because if she did have anything now, she's at the age where she'd be like kicking off. It's not Willow Smith. She's not Willow Smith.
That's but the Foos, like if you're dedicated to the Foos and the Foos are kind of cresting on their way out now, then you're just going to take the next Foo-ish thing, right? And that is such a wide fan base.
Yeah, but they're not going to go and start seeing Violet Grohl.
They will. They will though, because
they will not.
They
will.
It's adjacent to, like, it's like anything you could see, like the members of the Foo Fighters, the ones who we don't know the name of. It's like,
Chris and Nate or something.
Yeah, like Nate's playing and doing his own thing. It's like, no, Nate's more respected. It's like the guitarist or
He's the bass player from Sunny Day Real Estate.
He is the bass player for Sunny Day Real Estate, and they're back. But I think people like Nate more out of all of them. Nate is like the next one. If he left, it'd be like, oh, fucking, what is Foo Fighters anymore? Like, he's like a part of the furniture.
Yeah.
Whereas the other guitarists who I like them all.
Yeah.
But if he has a side project and stuff, and he probably sells out gigs, and it's only because people like the Foo Fighters. It's just a blindness of like.
Well, hang on, you're going to go and see Jerry Harrison from Talking Heads.
Exactly. But that's thing, right? You went and saw.
I'm not saying I don't.
The Jam.
I tried to go and see the Jam. That story is now infamous online.
But like,
failed.
That's like.
Oh, do you know Bruce is back? Did I tell you this?
Oh, is it?
So
really?
He got laid up in August. I did my story. I saw him in December, and now he's back until May, and then he's going to quit. So I have to put another 70 quid in just to see him now. Can you believe it? No, I don't.
You don't. It's fine if you don't see the rhythm section of the Jam.
I'm on such a Jam kick again now. So
I might have
to
tick him off. You got to tick him off.
I got to tick him off. Yeah, and then Rick Buckler's doing like a talk in Cambridge or something. So I'm like, I forgot for that now, just to tick him off. So who do you decide then for your Violet replacement?
I'd say Courtney Love.
Okay, are we all saying Courtney Love then? Is it kind of the?
I think Paul McCartney. Yeah, permanent. Alongside his own massive tours that he keeps doing.
It made me think, if Nirvana went on tour with like kind of a lineup like that, I probably wouldn't go.
See, I think I might. I think I'm in that sucker whirlpool of like, I'm such a completionist in that fact. And if I can see Kim Gordon, I've never seen Sonic Youth, like I said before.
When push comes to shove, I think it'd come to the day and the tickets was out, and I would look at I've got to go and see, like,
aneurysm.
It would get
Come
me,
on,
like, as much as I say, like, nah, because it's just, I'd rather just go see the Nirvana cover band that we went and
Well, I was going to say, have we got any footage from that gig? Because when Brixton opened back up, the first people that played there was Nirvana cover band and the Smiths cover band, and it was me, you, and the wife, and you were the first person to crowd surf at Brixton when it reopened.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was carnage. That was absolute carnage. It was amazing.
I was surprised because I was like, I'll go there and be fine, but I was like well into it. I was like, right, let's just go for this.
It was mental.
Just mosh, and it was cool. It's like,
it was really funny as you crowd surfed, because there's that midway like barrier thing in the middle of the crowd area, which is really annoying. You stood on that, you jumped across, you went all the way to the front, and because there was new security measures in place, it was like the whole front row was lined with security guards, and you ended up going right for this little 17-year-old boy. You could just see his face drop as he's like, I've got to catch this bloke, this like wild man in the crowd.
I was surprised because the security were pretty like chill and like way kind of thing. Like, after what happened to Brixton, I thought they'd been less lenient on that. I thought I might sling my hook after that and not get to see the Smiths cover band.
That was one of the best gigs I went to last year, and it's kind of a sad fact to say that a tribute band was better. And that, do you know how much that gig ticket was? Smiths and Nirvana at Brixton. How much?
20 quid.
14 quid.
Oh,
back
in the old days.
I know.
I know.
That's how much you paid to see We Are Scientists at Birmingham Academy back in the day.
2005.
But that was great. I liked going at Brixton. It was like it didn't stink as beer and staleness because it had been refurbed a bit, and the carpet was new on the floor. And it was like I was walking out. I remember spilling a bit of my pint instantly. And we're like, well, there we go. It's like, can't laugh.
First person to spill his pint at the new Brixton reopening. I'm intrigued because I can see at the corner of my eye, Tom, that today we're going to discuss, as we said, Liam Gallagher's 13 songs that he wrote for Oasis, and you've actually brought along like Top Gear style.
I got something for you. Well,
leaderboard, which we're going to rank them from the best to worst. We're going to talk through them all and use this
she is.
amazing.
She's a good
amazing
old thing.
tool to
look at that.
Wow.
So
this is definitely not cobbled together with a cardboard box.
I mean, what do you do? What do you do on your Saturday nights? Do you really go to town with marker pens and stickies?
Well, I was actually listening to Oasis's 13 Liam Gallagher songs. So
there we go.
I'll let you know better. I'll let know so you look.
Excellent.
So yeah, we've got cards for all of them. So I think we'll just pick a random one. Josh, you want to pick a random one to kick off with,
and then we'll
go through.
You go up from there, mate.
Let's go for.
And then we'll order them on the box.
Right,
this only works in a visual medium.
And then what have we got there, Adam?
We've got one we've already discussed, which is I Believe in All.
Oh, well,
which you might remember, which is the only song which is not on Spotify of his songs, which is on YouTube. But this was in the worst 5 Oasis songs you might remember.
Decided by Reddit, not us.
Decided by Reddit, which, So we've discussed this one before, but Tom, did you have any thoughts on I Believe in All?
Yeah, I tell you what, the main thing for me, having gone through all of these, is that this is a really sad thing to say, I like the recording quality of these Dig Out Your Soul.
Yeah.
It sounds just a bit more modern and a bit more warm, and I think for a lot of the way, that really goes a long way, because some of the other ones, like, what is it? What's that one with the Tin Pan voice and all that? The funniest one.
Won't Let You Down.
Won't Let You Down. That is like, the difference in that. I've got some notes here. It didn't have that. If it didn't have that Radar Love rhythm, it wouldn't sing as well as it does. You know, bum 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 bum. And I thought, if it didn't have that, if it was just like dun dun dun, just be another washy nothing kind of a thing. But yeah, there's the first track on the list you made, which is I'm going to go to the notes here. Ain't Got Nothing. I feel like it was kind of a toss up between Ain't Got Nothing and I Believe in All, and Ain't Got Nothing won out for me.
In terms of being good, or
if you had to choose between, I think that only has one little hook to it, which makes it just keep its head above the water. So we're talking about Liam's 13. I'm going to put that about 11. Personally.
11.
Yeah.
What about you, Josh? Any thoughts on this one? Great spelling, by the way, on the card.
Did I get it wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always like going back and listening to these songs. It's kind of like this one specifically. It's not quite there. It's got a bit. It's tried. It's like, we've got this kind of little bit of a hook, but it's got nothing else to it, and it's all relying on that. And it always surprises me going back and listening to these, because you're just listening to all classic Oasis, the main hitters. Then you go back to this, and it's always a shock that what Liam's voice sounds like.
Yeah.
It always surprises me going back and like listening to things like this. It's like, because it changes like drastically after the first two, and then even later on this, it's like, okay. But like going back and listening to these songs, I was surprised at like, oh yeah, these are all right.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. It's like, it's cool. It's what of its time. It's like they're doing something. They're trying not to tread water like any artists will do. But again,
I don't know if I agree with that. I think they're largely treading water, but not as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially these very last.
Some we'll get to which are very album tracky.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially where there's a couple which are like 2 minutes long, where it's just like, right, we need to get up to 10 tracks for this to meet a contractual obligation. Just put any old...
See, that's interesting, because I gave the songs that are 2 minutes long a pass. I would say they're better than the longer songs because they did edit themselves enough to say, all right, that's enough, keep it short and sweet. It might just be a bit of a filler thing, but at least it's not 7 minutes long.
Yeah, it's just like, here's an idea.
It respects the audience enough to say, look, guys, it's not great. Anyway, here's a better one. Or
so should we put I Believe in All low rung?
I believe in a thing called all.
Yeah.
Should we pop this on the table?
Yeah.
Obviously, this only works in a visual medium. If you are listening to this on Spotify or any of our other audio mediums, then you have to go over to YouTube and have a look.
Yeah, head over to YouTube,
guys.
give us a like, subscribe, follow,
get on the visual
all
stuff.
that stuff.
Actually, there is someone in Tennessee that has listened to and downloaded every single one of our podcasts, to the point that Tennessee is our biggest place of
don't you have family in America?
No, not in Tennessee, but
maybe they're on a road trip or something of this.
So if you're out there and you're from Tennessee and you're listening to this on your commute, thank you so much. Get in touch, because we love to chat to you, and just get in touch somehow. That'd be interesting to figure out what it is about.
Yeah, email address on screen now. Everyone else, please get in touch with comments and suggestions. Yeah, towards the bottom.
Test it. Oh, we wouldn't have been able to test the old bit on this box because the box is here, wouldn't it?
Yep, that's right. So this could be a complete disaster. And is the light just bouncing off of it?
Yeah,
can you read
good.
it?
That looks good.
Oh well,
we'll
take a picture at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Ad, do you want to? Oh no, we're going to select one.
Yes,
so.
let's. I'll just take the top one, I reckon.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is Better Man.
Hey,
of course, the
Robbie
Williams before Robbie even thought of it.
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Maybe he stole
a song that I didn't know existed until last week, and would have played in perfectly for everything we talked about Better Man in the last episode. Didn't even know that it was a song.
Thoughts on this one, boys?
It's fine. It's all right. It's on Heathen. Is it the opener for Heathen Chemistry? I might be getting that wrong. It's on that album now, I believe. Yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's probably the last song of the album, for all I remember. But yeah, it's a fine song. It's cool. It made me, when I found that, have a little listen and have a look at what was on Heathen Chemistry. And I was surprised at how much more was on that, like single wise, that kind of stick out a bit more than what was the one before? It was Standing on Shoulder Giants. So yeah.
The thing I'd say about this song is it's like many, the riff is a complete Beatles rip-off.
Right.
Which
goes without saying.
Which comes up quite a lot in my notes that I've made for this one.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of it is him just going like, yeah, which I'm now going to call Hey Juding.
Okay, yeah, I like that. I was going to say,
he also does that in another couple of songs he writes, which is just, here's the thing, and I'll just do it for
just run it out.
About a quarter of the song.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was okay. I thought this one was okay. I think better than I Believe in All.
I'm really glad you said that, because just looking at my notes, I planned to go through this playlist twice and I didn't.
Yeah.
So on the first pass, I wrote okay.
Okay, great. Yeah,
it's the shortest review and notes I've taken of anything.
There is a lot better from Liam than this, but I think this is sort of like maybe 8.
I was going to say 7. I was going to say 7.
Well, there we go.
Okay, all right. So
I'm going to try to work out 7 on this thing.
As it's a 3-man voting system, I'm actually going to bring that down again, Josh, to 8.
Okay, 8. That's fine by me.
So let's just hope that 8 is about there. And it's just
8 is next. Did we put that one at 11?
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, we can always put them on top of each other. That's fine.
Well, we thought that the bottom 3 would not even fit the list.
Okay, we'll chuck them. They'll go over the shoulder.
Yeah, over the shoulders of giants. Right, I'm going to pick one then, gentlemen. It's Little James.
Little James.
Classic.
Little
Jimbo.
I think since we did we listen to that one on the?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
That was the one that came up a lot.
It's all right.
Yeah, my main note for this also was Hey Juding.
Yes.
But bland. I think it's quite bland. It's not offensive, but it's quite bland, I think.
Yeah. I think I had some notes that said, because I listened to Out of Time as well, which is part of this list. This feels to me like a proto Out of Time, because it's got the chords. It's this. You can sing Out of Time over this song.
Yes, yeah. Which again is another common thing among these songs that they sound like earlier versions of another song or later versions.
Exactly. I thought something that really stands out for me this, and I think I want to argue that this is the reason that people don't like this song because again, when we did the Reddit compilation, everyone said this song, and I was like, this has got to be terrible. But it obviously wasn't that bad at all. I think the thing that gets people is it's strangely specific in its lyrics. Because lyrics are all like, we're doing this and we're together and everything's fine, and it's very general. And this is like talking about someone doing something and they feel this way, and it's very pointed. And I think people might see a bit of a weakness in that because it's not a kind of a blurry general way of talking about things.
It's broad.
Yeah. And I think that's very odd for Oasis you're thinking about a story rather than just like, here we are having a laugh, roll with it.
Yeah, Oasis isn't thinking music.
Yeah, that's it. It's being specific, and it's not just saying a bunch of mystic Beatles references, and that hurts the song, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, that was the first one, wasn't it, that Liam did for Oasis?
Oh, you're getting all
it must be one of the,
facts.
It must be one of the early ones.
Facts we don't know,
because that was the album where he started to do stuff.
So maybe that
just
because it was known about it, people are
just like, we don't like
anyway.
That. Okay, so Little James for me, not the worst thing in the world, but again, these are all very, very soft 8s and 9s in my head. But
I think maybe this can go over the shoulder of Giants, like you said.
Yeah. Meaning what exactly?
I think so.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah.
We just fling it, get rid of it.
Oh,
right.
Okay,
put it in the pile. All right.
It's gone.
Sorry,
it's gone. It's not on the board.
Sorry, Jimbo.
There we
You're
go.
Gone.
Au revoir.
Right, whose turn to pick next? Is it me?
Yeah, sure.
All right, okay. Let's. I'm not going to pick the top one because
pick the one below.
Let's pick the one below, which is Guess God Thinks I'm Able.
Okay. So for this, I've got a good chorus. And obviously the big thing stand out for me is the Cain and Abel reference. You know, the two brothers who fought. And actually the Cain slew Abel, so God thinks I'm able, so that would make him the victim of this song. And
maybe that's his,
that's
his thought of
no
knowing
for help.
Okay, but then there's also the Britishness of I am able to do something. So there's the double meaning there. I like that.
It's quite poetic and smart for Liam.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit playful. Good chorus. There's a funny backing vocal during the middle. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. There's like a whoa.
Oh yeah.
Which really took me out of the song, and it really made me laugh because it works and it fits and it's all in key and it's all good, but it just that kind of made me laugh. Thought it would plod on for another 5 minutes, repeating itself, but refreshingly, it did a huge outro one time, and I was like, fair enough. That's what I wanted from all the other 5 tracks we listened to in the last episode that we did about music of these guys, like the lower stuff. So, yeah.
My only note on this one was it sounds like Noel Gallagher's High Flying Bird song.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's like the thing, because it's like these songs are written, but how much does like Noel end up taking the instrumental part of it? Like, does Liam come with like some of the chords? Because I know he did that with, was it Songbird? Was it Songbird? And he went out and wrote it on his guitar and brought it back in.
Noel tidied it up and put it in the right key. And
he came, and so it's like Noel might have like had an instrumental. It's like, how much of this is just Liam writing, contributing lyrics, and the instrumentation is...
we can't take away from poor Liam. These are his 13 songs. We can't basically say like Noel did all the good bits on them. Come on.
Well, there is like footage of him playing guitar in the studio and this kind of stuff, which you never think to see and you never see. But yeah, I mean, he might have just like brought the lyrics like the Manics do, where they just, Nicky writes the lyrics and then James does everything else. And it's like, well, okay, you wrote the song.
Yeah. So that's the important thing. You write the lyrics and you get the money.
That's the thing.
I think this is all right.
Yep. So what do we got?
That's I think it's probably maybe better than some of the ones we've had on there.
Yeah, I'm thinking
just above that.
What, how many?
7?
No, we've got. We can do 7.
Yeah. ASMR. Right there.
Yeah. All right,
next one. Josh, you pick him.
We've got Boy with the Blues.
Boy with the Blues. Now, interestingly, on Spotify, I don't know if you noticed, the album it's from is the NCIS official soundtrack.
That's
Which just made me think, like, is this the only song in America that broke through because it was on like a season finale of like some crappy cop show?
We should find that
there knows it.
Can we find that?
Well, I'll have a look and see if I can find it. That screams out to me, we want an Oasis track in this. Well, we can't afford any of them, but they've got a B-side that Liam wrote that we could put in. Yeah,
but I didn't mind this one. I think it's quite repetitive. Is the only issue, and it also is very similar to Born on a Different Cloud, but not as good, which we'll talk about when that comes out. But I thought this was okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was okay as well. Like, I don't think it needs to be tossed over the shoulder, but we'll stick it up there. The problem is we're getting to a point now because it's random thing. You're knocking off things, and then like, well, this doesn't deserve to be 4. But
we'll have a rearrangement at the end.
Yeah.
We'll have a check in.
Yeah, and also, can our fan in Tennessee let us know about the NCIS thing? Like, which episode was this in?
Yeah, did you randomly watch that episode back in 2004?
Yeah, that's how you got into Oasis.
Like, oh, these guys are all right.
These guys, and then you look in the catalogue, like, oh, this is all way better than Boy with the Blues.
Well, it's funny. Last night I was watching Severance, like the new episode, and I'm pretty sure they had. I don't know if it was Stone Roses or Ian Brown.
It was Ian Brown.
It was Ian Brown, and I heard it, and I was like, this can't be Ian Brown because it sounds too like cock rocky.
Yeah.
And then I heard it, and I was like, oh, okay, so they maybe had the same. I was like, I want to go and have a listen to that song now.
Yeah.
But maybe someone had the same thing with NCIS.
Same producer as Severance. They're just like moving around doing the circuit.
Cool. All right, where are we sticking this then?
What about my opinion, gentlemen?
Fuck you.
Go on then, if you
must. Go on.
All right, is it Come Together reference? He just sung Come Together or something a bunch of times. Can you re-sing the Beatles lyrics or song titles and call it a homage? Because I feel like Beatles, Oasis fans are or they think that they're hungry for Beatles stuff. Like, oh, I heard that reference. I know the Beatles. It's like they're like the Beatles because they're saying Come Together a lot, even though that's just a song that already exists. And they can get away with it. Whereas if someone wrote the same song, you'd be like, well, you just nicked the Beatles. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's it's kind of implied that they will say something about the Beatles in every song where they can.
Yeah, it's a crutch. They're like, I think they think that they're clever doing it, and it's like, because
and I feel
fuck them. Yeah, stop doing it. Do your own songs. Keep doing it. It's great. I don't know.
I feel like this is Liam's importance of being idle, because the middle and the end has got a kind of a to it, and I wonder if he just pipped Noel to the post with that.
Was this out before Importance?
Don't ask me questions like that on this podcast. I'm not an expert.
All right, so where are we ranking this one then?
Let's put it. What is that? 9. Let's put it 6th.
Just and then the next song will be 5th, and then the next song will be.
Look at this. This is a good old thing, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Look at that. Really, it's looking sharp. I've got to say.
I could have done this digitally.
No.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. Is it me then?
Next song, yeah, you go for it, Tom.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Pass Me Down the Wine.
Now, terrible title.
Pass Me Down the Wine. I would say.
Terrible title, I would say.
Yes.
The thing I thought about this though is it is totally like a sister song to Songbird in that it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just like melody's exactly the same. Yeah, it's so Songbird in its vibes.
It's probably difficult when you only know like 4 chords. Like, so you have to like try and work it out.
It's funny because that chord, their main opening chord, is the same chord as "There Is a Light That Never Goes Out" by the Smiths. So that, and it sounds a lot like it. So for the first 5 seconds, I was like, "Is this going to do that?" Yeah.
I also thought the intro sounded like "Are you hanging all your stockings on?" Which is
Slade.
Again like most of the Oasis back catalogue. Yeah.
I didn't get much out of it. Nice rhythm. I feel like the song might be about being a dad. To all the fathers who are fucking sick and tired is a line that's sung very clearly and loud.
Yeah.
And I feel like Pass Me Down the Wine is like, I've got 2 10-year-old kids now, and I'm kind of like, it's not great at home. And it's pass me the wine. You're just a dad like me. You're kind of sick of it all. And
sick and tired of life for his kids.
Like. Wine is not very rock and roll though, is it?
But maybe that is part of being a dad. Is you can't have tequila.
You
have to have a bit of classy wine. I'll just pretend to be a normal bloke.
Wine's a dad's drink. Yeah, you go have a little red.
But I think if it was a beer, it would be a bit more relaxed.
Pass me the beer. That sounds like a laugh, doesn't it?
Pass
down the booze.
Pass me the beer, my good man. Sounds like a Roman feast.
Yeah. Get around in, lad.
Yeah, they're quite like flowery titles. Some of these.
Yeah,
yeah.
Only God could judge me, or whatever. It's only Cain and Abel. Like, what's it? Is it on the board, or do we fling it? I guess God thinks I'm able. Yeah, he's read some stuff.
Yeah. He's read a
What do we think of this then?
I think again this is mid-table. I think we've been quite unfortunate with the way these have come out. In the ones that I think are bad and the ones I think are good, we haven't got to yet.
Yes.
So again, I think this is very
all
like
sevens, aren't they?
middle of the road, very inferior to Songbird. but a rip-off.
Okay, interesting. So you got a little notion about Songbird, is that right?
Well, we'll come to that one. We've got a
Can
handful left.
Can we break the rules of the board? Maybe just put this like over 7 and 8.
Yeah,
because
fine.
I feel like
7.5 out of 13.
Yeah.
Drama on the Mad Frit podcast.
There we go.
There we go.
Right, here we go. Right, I'll pick one. The Meaning of Soul is the next choice.
So this is the song that Liam wrote about his trip to Korea.
Wait, what's this song?
The Meaning of Soul.
Meaning of Soul.
Oh, right, yeah. Didn't get much out of it. Almost too fast. Could be good live. Very raw. Is that him on the harmonica? Because there's a rough first few notes. Did you see that when the harmonica comes in? It's not just like, here, it's like, so I was like, it's him like warming the harmonica in the studio. Yeah. Sorry, mate. What were you saying about Korea?
No, nothing. I just made that up.
Oh.
The Meaning of Soul. So Korea. Yeah. But no, the harmonica's funny. It's like...
It's short and snappy as well, which has got going for it. Even though I think it's pretty mediocre, this one.
It's a 7.5, isn't
it? I think it's lower than that, actually. I think this is more, for me, lower echelons. But it is quite short and snappy, which is good.
Which is a good thing. So it's not a 10 then, because there's a space for a 10. It's not a 7.5, as we'd expect.
Is it 11?
It's an 8. Oh, an 11.
Oh, well, I think lower down. I think of all the short ones, this is one of the worst.
You think that's a
short
chuck?
ones?
So you think chuck it?
Chuck. That means we've only got one chuck left.
Okay, we're chucking.
All right, we're chucking. Yeah, all right, chuck it. Brilliant.
It's gone.
There we go. Oh, this is going to get pretty intense now.
Also, we got a lot of room at the top of the list here. So, next
come on,
song.
Liam, you can do it.
Okay. No. Is
it reading? Can it?
Ain't Got Nothing.
Ain't Got Nothing. That's the first one we reviewed.
I think this was one of my favourites, actually.
You put.
I like this as well. Actually, again, it's another short and sweet song, which goes well for it. It's got a good little jam bit in it. I thought was really, really good. I really enjoyed that part. But it also sounds like the sort of like shockwave Liam Gallagher solo era as like a precursor to that. Okay. Like in the same way we said some of the others sound like the workings on the way to a different sound.
Yeah.
You could see that all the way back then, which is, like more than 10 years before he started doing that sort of music, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, I like this too. I think this is really good. Again, the sound of the Digger Soul stuff is really solid and it's really like thought out and really well rounded. And to me, it actually felt a bit nostalgic because I said I had this album back when, kind of forgot almost everything about it, maybe apart from like Shock of the Lightning because that was a single. But to hear this, I was like, yeah, all right, yeah. I'm kind of like, if they did another 3 albums after this or something, I think this would have been the start of the ascent.
Yeah,
I feel like if they put that energy and that kind of thought and it's kind of things are happening and it's keeping you on your toes. If they did that, 30 more songs across 3 more albums, I'd be like, all right, boys, let's get back into this.
I think knowing like that they were going to end after that, like kind of on that tour kind of thing, they were just going for it. There was maybe elements of there trying to make it work to just get through it, like maybe we can. But then, I think with that album as well, it's the track listing is quite odd.
Yeah.
It's like it needs to be a bit more focused. Like it's like you're listening to one thing, okay, going into this, going back in that. And it's like that was the same with the Don't Believe the Truth kind of one as well. It had there's no consistency, there's no fit, it's all over the place.
I don't think it's as bad as that.
Do you not think? Maybe
I think that's where they started to feel lost. I think they were like, let's try 4 different things instead of just the Oasis thing. But I think this, like I said, I think this kind of, they were pulling it back together a little bit with this tune. It's a shame that we didn't kind of, get maybe a bit more out of this.
I think this is like number 3 or so.
I
think this is pretty high, I would say. Right, next song, please, boys.
Let's have a look. Next song is Soldier On.
Now, I think this was one of the worst.
Is this a chuck?
This possibly, and I think the thing that really like got me about this one, this was the last track on Dig Out Your Soul. So this is the last track on their last album,
right? And
it is just like so dreary and so like that album, which as we've just discussed, has like some good, some
potential,
bad, but going out on such a low note of the last album, like just don't put it on the album. Just do like one fewer track on the album. I would have said it is awful.
You need to have a solid track at the beginning and at the end.
Yeah.
Like you can get more whimsical and longer on the final track, but you've got to hit the landing. Otherwise, you don't want an album where people listen to it all front loaded.
It just gets worse and worse.
If you're driving in your car, whenever you didn't have the option to like skip or whatever, you'd be like, I'll keep listening. It's got to get to a track. Whereas if the last track's like, I'm not going to bother with the last 3 because they're all duds. It's like you've got to have that. Like, can't peter out in an hour. It's like,
well, in my notes, all I wrote was first thing I did was check how long it was. Limp, filler, least favorite.
yeah,
Yes.
Chuck.
Chuck. We're
it
chucking
out.
this one. This is going.
Chuck.
Soldier on, soldier off. Right. Next one. My pick.
next
Yes,
song.
please.
I think there's some really good stuff left in here, by the way.
Okay.
Given the order these
All
have
right.
come out. Love Like a Bomb is the next
I
one.
had to double check this wasn't Rage Against the
Yeah,
Machine.
I was just about to say, calm like a bomb. Like,
So now this is the only co-written Oasis song, not counting all the ones where Noel got into legal trouble and had to put someone else as a credit on songs where this
he's
have
ripped off.
similarities to other songs. This is the only actual co-written Oasis song, which is
By
quite
the
interesting.
brothers or by Gem Archer?
By Gem and
Gem Archer. What is it? We got it
It's
right.
Gem.
Gem. We got this. We should know this 20 episodes
and
in.
Liam.
So maybe it's not even worthy of. Maybe it can float. Like,
but we actually
maybe I'll
have
put it on the
14
side
songs
of the
here,
box.
so this is like the bonus, Brucey bonus
Okay.
of the song.
All
So,
right. Well, how do we feel about it then, gents?
I really like the piano bit
Yes.
in there. I thought that was sick. That was it.
That's it.
Yeah, sorry, that was it.
All right. Well, just because we've been trying to get all our statistics and albums and things right as we've been going, this is the song that follows Lila.
Okay.
So this is track 4 or 5. So you've got
I think
that
in
terrible
an upcoming
run of
episode, we
songs.
need to just do a breakdown of that album.
I think
in
so,
full,
yeah.
It's
because
fascinating.
we reference that and its mental track listing
Yeah.
so much. I think that is.
From memory, I could be wrong that it goes Mucky Fingers, then Lila.
Well,
So
I'm sure we're
I'd
going
have
to find
to double
out.
check it, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's it. Because it's like crazy. It's like Mucky Fingers.
Well, that's not the first one. It's like Here Comes the Sun or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's not the
we
first
should
one.
know this by now. We should know this by now. It's like
But yeah,
5 things.
well, it's funny. Speaking of that song, is that in this list? No,
What's
it
that,
isn't,
mate?
because that's a Belster, wasn't it?
It's about to,
Yeah, that we had a comment on a video saying about that song, like "Turn Up the Sun," and the guy was like, "This is a good song. You're too harsh on it, basically."
Okay.
And I went and he mentioned live in Manchester when they played it, and I went and listened to it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is all right. Yeah, there's an
Right.
energy there." And I listened to it, and that's like my thing. I like listening to live versions of songs.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because
Like
sometimes
the
they-
1975, and that
Yeah.
was your favourite album of last year.
there's a lot of different
Never
energy
forget.
to it, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I played it back and listened to the recording, and I preferred the live version more.
Okay.
So maybe there is a thing in that maybe this guy saw it live and was like, this is belting, and he grew an appreciation for that more.
Yeah.
So I appreciated it more live than I did the recording of it. So I feel like I was more harsh on it
Right.
than if I listened to the live version. I'd be like, yeah, this is cool. And it's like, I can understand it. You see a guy singing the lyrics, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. It's
I see someone trying to dig themselves out of a hole here after.
dig out my hole.
Well, I want to say it sounds like he's singing "Love Like a Bum," which is something I can't get out of my head, and it kept happening. And the more you listen to it, you're like, "Bum," because I got this thing with the Manics as well, because they've got "You Stole the Sun from My Heart."
Yeah.
But if you listen to it, and I wish I didn't find this in my ear brain, it sounds like "You Stole the Sun from My Ass." And once I heard that, I can't unhear it, and it
Ruined.
devastates me. Say what you want about Heathen Chemistry, but I feel this is really where the band fell apart beyond repair. They tried to do more and it didn't work, so they tried to go back and they made stuff that was past its time. Didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah. This is.
I feel like this is the album 4 or 5. This is where the creaking snapped off. So that's a 10 for me.
Yes, I was going to say number 10.
alright.
We've got a gap at 10, haven't we?
Yeah.
So,
Josh, I think it's your go, mate.
Okay, let's see what we've got here. Born on a Different Cloud.
Born on a Different Cloud. I think this is really good.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. 6 minutes long, but like in a good way. It's very like anthemic.
I like
slow.
cloud-based songs like Zephyr Song and this, I guess. I can't think of anything else. But yeah. Oh, Why Does It Always Rain on Me? There's clouds involved in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, cloud-based music.
It's Raining Men.
It's Raining Men, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's good, very atmospheric. But although it did strike me, like Liam loves writing a ballad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is against his sort of like
He's a sensitive
persona.
soul.
Like
Yeah.
so many of these songs are ballads.
Yep.
And he absolutely bloody loves them. I'm going to throw this out there. I think this might be the best of the lot of them.
Ooh. Well, my only note for this was that it's got an umpire rhythm to it, which the only song that's ever allowed umpire rhythm is "Take a Look at My Girlfriend."
Yeah.
And Supertramp. So for me, that was all I could focus on. I think otherwise this would probably be like a 6, 5.
Okay, well we've got 1 to 6 are free. We've only got 4 spots,
right, we'll
so
stick it there.
We need to start putting something towards.
Right,
the top,
yeah, we need to commit.
Are we going
Josh?
3, 2, or 1 on this one? Or 4?
I want to say 3. Well, Josh, you get the casting vote because I'm 3. Adam's 1. So
I'd say 3 as well.
Yep.
3. Okay.
Okay, so we'll do that then. 3. Oh.
Right. Is my pick?
Yeah, it's your pick, Adam.
Okay, we got 1 pick left each. I'm going to go for the one at the bottom. Right. Okay, this one. I'm out of time.
love this song.
Yes, I think
Love
this
this song.
Excellent as well.
Completely forgot about this song. This is Dig Your Soul, right? This is another one of the Diggies. Is it not? Help me out, guys. I'm bleeding here.
I can't remember.
Just yes or no? Anything.
Yeah, it's Dig Your
right.
Soul.
Out of time. Yeah, absolutely love this song to a degree that I didn't know I could love a late Oasis song, and it came right back to my brain. This is the other single from their last album.
It is from Dig Your Soul, yeah.
This is wicked. It's so emotional, and I think I've made a note. I think this is the one with the James Bond semitone.
Yeah,
it's kind of got that kind of like John Barry kind of like old 60s.
Yeah, that's the thing that stuck out to me. I was like listening. I was like, oh, okay, like it's like
it feels like an amalgamation of all the 2000 plodder songs, but done right. A fade out. And do we know the story about the fade out budgets? So yeah, big win for me. Actually, number 1. I'm going to say I'm going to be bold.
Yeah, I'd be happy with this at number 1.
Okay, we'll go number 1 for that one then.
What would you reckon, there, Josh?
I would say in the scale of this, so we've got 4 already. I'd say like 2 me, but I think.
But then that means you need a number 1.
Majority wins.
Which might be in there, might not be. They played this so much on that last tour, and it made me think, if they hadn't split up, would this be now like as big as some of their big songs? Because they obviously loved it, because they really played the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And it is good.
And it actually feels like the band is out of time. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Like now we know what we know. It was kind of like, this is it, boys. It's like a closing song to the band. And I kind of, maybe that's intentional, maybe not, but I feel like that made it more special listening to it last night again, being like, yeah, wow, you had a really good career. It was like a nostalgic thing. It's like looking at all the old footage in black and white, being like, see ya, we're off.
Really grainy video.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Do you want to say number 1 then?
Excellent song.
I would like to say number 1.
Yeah, we'll go number 1 then. Number 1 on that.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm out of time is the number 1 of Liam's 13.
Right. Josh, do you want to pick?
Okay. I'm hoping it's my number 1. Yes, this is my number 1. My cheek has been turned on it by the commenter, and I've seen the light on it. No. And as I said, Won't Let You Down is the one. So Won't Let You Down is perfect.
It is perfect.
It's like actually the one I wanted to go back and listen to. And it makes me laugh. It's kind of funny, but there's those things where you clown on it a bit and you're like, oh, this is stupid. But then you listen to them all and you're like, this is great. Like, it's like, I would love to see this live in place of Wonderwall. Like, why not? Lucky Fingers in this in place of Wonderwall. It would be so funny. I'd be the only person. It'd be a riot, but like, I'd be like, I can't believe they played this. This is my number 1. What about you guys? What do you think?
Well, that's the Game Archer one.
Okay,
so you had a story for us.
I've got a Game Archer story. It's kind of like all my stories at my previous job. I met like people through Oasis who were rehearsing. Didn't know them personally or anything like that, but we had a shop that sold like musical equipment, like drumsticks and things like that. And one day this guy came up and he was with the High Flying Birds, and I thought it was one of the techs. And it's this guy. He's like, "Oh, I need to get some drumsticks." I was like, "All right." I took him up to the shop. And I was chatting with him. I was like, "Oh yeah. So what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we've been in it rehearsing and that." And I was like, "Oh wait," and it kind of clicked. I was like, I didn't know who he was really. I wasn't aware, but I was like, I thought he was one of the technicians. He's in the band, and I think he's one of the Oasis guitarists, the last Oasis guitarist. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Gem. Nice to meet you." And I was like, "Oh, I'm Josh." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah. And I'm walking and I'm talking to him, and because I didn't have that like stress of him being this like guy who was in Oasis or High Flying Birds, I was having quite a natural conversation with him and getting the sticks. He's like, yeah, basically I'm getting these. My son's learning to play drums and stuff. So I was like, what sticks do you recommend? I was like, oh, maybe these. It depends. So you got 2 different pairs. And I was just having a chat to him, talking about drums, and he's like, just talking like basic, really normal, like, yeah, he's really into it. He's just started. So got him a kit, getting him to practice, like really mundane kind of stuff. Right. And it was like a nice chat. It was he was so nice, just really genuine. And he's like, oh yeah, thanks Josh, take care. Like, see. And I would have given him for free if I'd realised it was like the Oasis guy. You paid for it happily, but I would have been like,
I would have been millionaire. You give the free stuff to.
Absolutely been like, you can have that for free.
Is he going to be in the comeback band?
I think so. Yeah, he's in High Flying Birds.
But him and Bonehead,
hopefully.
Yeah,
it's 2 rhythm guitarists.
That's a good point, isn't it?
Just stick them all. Have every Oasis member in there. That's just
Grigsy at the back.
Yeah. I didn't even clock that.
All right, if you had to pick one, if preference.
Oh, Bonehead. Like, even though I'm mates with Gem, like Bonehead is the one. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the one.
But yeah,
I think this is unrankable because it is such a
God
shocker,
tier, isn't it?
but
It's
in a good way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to put it on this list.
Yeah, I think the only thing for me listening to it again yesterday was like he's doing like rock and roll style level harsh vocals on a soft song.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to see if they ever perform this live, like full band. That could be a real winner. But the fact it's like this almost sweet, nice song, and he's just like belting it out, and the mix is like right in your ear, and it's just like.
But we've talked a lot about like what their opener will be. Maybe it's this because we're back and we won't let you down with this gig.
Yeah.
And just completely silence the entire crowd.
So that's God tier. So that goes up here.
Okay.
That rests in the gods, in the nosebleeds. There we go.
I was looking down over the other tracks.
Down, Liam's 13.
Beautiful. Look at that. So there's only space. Really.
There's only one more song.
It's the second one. And
there's one more song, and we haven't rigged this being last.
And what is it, gents?
Songbird.
It's Songbird, of course. So
Songbird.
It's in number 2 for us.
Yeah, that's number 2. I think that's fairly.
I was always never fussed about this song, and actually when I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I'd always been like, and I thought, oh, this is sick.
I've heard it in soundtracks or adverts or something. It's been like the Stand By Me kind of thing. Like, never properly listened to it, but then actually listen to it. I'm like, oh, I like this. Yeah. There's a niceness to it.
Yeah, and also, interestingly to end on, it's almost certainly the only song out of these 13/14 that they'll play in the summer. Like, I can't imagine anything else, even though there's some in there I think are really, really good. Songbird, I think, is the only one that's actually going to appear.
I think listen to it again for the first time in ages. Again, like you said, it was on adverts and whatever, and it was around, and it was kind of interesting because I think that's one from a slightly that middle period of Oasis that we all do know, and it was almost as big
chemistry.
As it was. So it was almost as big as like any of the classic ones. I'm really glad it's not 6 minutes long. I thought that period of time they were just like verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. They would just keep doing it and doing it. There's a nice like harmonica or accordion in the background, and the thing I picked up on it was the way the chords go down and back up. It's like whiskey in the jar. You know, and I thought that was kind of
and it
gave it more of an Irish lilt because you put an accordion in there.
It is very someone just sat in the pub and like, oh, I've got a guitar, like I'll just and everyone's sort of like joining in a little bit. It's very
that's
like,
Liam, didn't he? He took
vibes.
it out into the garden and just started hammering that out, and then he was like, oh, I've got this, and he went out, sat by a tree or something and played it.
Yeah, it feels very organic and very like a standard, like an old standard, almost not like a Oasis song in a good way. Yeah, you know, they took the Oasis voice and formula and they just applied it to like an old Irish classic, and it really sings. So yeah, glad for it. Songbird, number 2.
Yeah, very good song. Enjoyed that one. And here's our final list then. Amount of Time at the top, then Songbird, then Ain't Got Nothing, and then Born a Different Cloud. I think we'd say they were the best. They were good, and then there's sort of this sort of middle ranking section.
There's a lot of middle ones,
and then Love Like a Bomb and the floor ones.
Yeah,
I reckon
they're
sort of
somewhere.
You can group them into top 3. Oh well, of course, won't let you down.
Yeah, maybe we can display them on screen because this is kind of a terrible idea. But
oh dear,
now there's pins everywhere.
Oh, that's fine. Good luck editing this, Josh.
All right, so if this was an album, would you buy it?
No.
If this was the track listing, would you listen to it?
If there was a Liam Gallagher gig and he was just playing these 13 songs, I would go and see it.
Okay.
It'd be literally absurd.
Just for the God one. Just for the...
I mean, what, 3 amazing songs? 3 or 4 amazing songs. A couple that are like so bad they're funny. And
then just a bunch of middle stuff.
And just like a bit of like filler. That's when you got the bar have a piss, don't you?
So. Busiest bar.
yeah. I think it's a good list, and I think we've ranked them pretty well here.
Yeah. 3 or 4 really good ones, and then all the others, and then the bottom ones.
Which, given he's not famous for his songwriting, actually isn't a bad hit rate. Which coming into it, I was sort of like, I only like Songbird I know well, but the rest of them, apart from the ones that we listened to from the worst songs list, they're sort of they never really made much of an impact.
Yeah, I think that you could play some of these, maybe the middly ones, like the 5 to 9, the ones that we kind of don't care much for, you could play them to a kind of non-Oasis fan like our parents, and they just think that's just another Oasis song. Like it doesn't go off so far or so bad that it's just unlistenable, or like a different band, or it's not like a synth song, or whatever. He stays in his lane, and I was really impressed. I think that I feel like I doubted him before I listened to these in a way that I absolutely shouldn't have. Yeah,
he's looking down over us.
Yeah.
Right, boys, another great episode. Yeah. Thanks to everyone at home for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on social media. All the channels are on your screen now. We'll be back next week with more on the road to see Oasis live in 2025.